Ever wondered why people go on killing sprees?
Are you interested in exploring the paranormal?
Baffled by stories of previous lives?
Well, so are we.
In each episode, we'll be discussing the weird and wonderful stories of some truly confusing phenomenons and some horrific true crime cases.
Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and join us every Tuesday wherever you listen to your podcasts.
And be prepared to be totally and utterly perplexed.
Everyone knows that it's not Valentine's without 1-800-Flowers.com. So whatever you do, don't forget the flowers. Right now, when you order early from 1-800-Flowers, you can get a gorgeous bouquet of assorted roses starting at $24.99. It's the perfect way to say I love you without breaking the bank. Don't put this off. Quantities are limited, so lock in your roses starting at $24.99 today at 1-800-Flowers.com/ACAST. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/ACAST.
Hi, I'm Raj Punjabi from HuffPost.
And I'm Noah Michelson, also from HuffPost.
And we're the hosts of Am I Doing It Wrong?, a new podcast that explores the all-too-human anxieties we have about trying to get our lives right.
Each week on the podcast, Raj and I pick a new topic that we want to understand better and bring a guest expert on to talk us through how to get it right.
And we're talking like legit, credible experts. Doctors, PhDs, all-around superheroes.
From HuffPost and ACAST Studios, check out Am I Doing It Wrong? Wherever you get your podcasts.
Raise your hand if you want your nails to look perfect all the time. Me too. I'm Sarah Gibson Tuttle from Olive & June, and this is exactly why we created the Manny system. We wanted to make it possible for everyone everywhere to give themselves a beautiful manicure at home. With our tools and our long-lasting polish, each manicure with our Manny system comes out to just $2. That's right, $2. No more $30, $40, $50 manis that you get at a salon and they take hours. Now you can paint your nails on your time and love them more than ever. And by the way, when people ask, who did your nails? Where did you get them done? You're going to proudly say, I did them myself. Get 20% off your first Manny system with code PERFECTManny20 at oliveandjune.com/PerfectManny20. That's code PERFECTManny20 for 20% off at oliveandjune.com/PerfectManny20.
Rock and Roll Mind Control. I'm Jason Horton.
I'm Rebecca Lieb.
And this is Ghost Town.
From his music to his cultural resonance to his Hollywood connections to his troubled, larger-than-life persona, Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys is truly a musical icon. But if you listen to the podcast, you know that behind every icon are those who seek to manipulate and exploit, to control for their own gains to varying degrees of success. Today is one such story of successful exploitation, one that came at a steep financial, psychological, and emotional price. Today we're talking about Brian Wilson, his Dr. Eugene Landy, and Landy's 24-hour celebrity therapy cult. Yes, it's a lot. Let's get into it. Eugene Landy was born on November 26, 1934 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the only child of two psychology professors named Frida May Gordon Landy and Jules C. Landy, who was also a doctor. At 5 years old, Eugene allegedly took an IQ test at the University of Pittsburgh, to which point it was revealed that young Landy had an IQ of 150. Fast forward to 6th grade, when Landy dropped out of school because of dyslexia. Working odd jobs for the next 3 years, at age 16 he decided to get into show business, eventually producing a nationally syndicated radio show aimed at teenagers. Along with his production gig, Landy made a living promoting musical acts and eventually produced a single for Frankie Avalon. Honoring his parents' wishes, Landy resumed his formal education after he moved to Los Angeles in the early 1960s, studying chemistry at Los Angeles City College. From there, he went to medical school at the National Autonomous University of Mexico, but fell ill with dysentery and came back to Los Angeles, where he studied psychology at Cal State University, Los Angeles. He then got a master's degree and PhD in psychology from the University of Oklahoma. After a brief stint in the Peace Corps, Landy moved back to Los Angeles to work as a drug counselor at Harbor Hospital and as a part-time instructor at San Fernando Valley State College. It was there that Landy began developing the protocol for his 24-hour treatment program. He was intrigued by the notion of, quote, marathon therapy, in which a therapist takes control of a group of people for a full 24-hour period or longer. In 1968, he worked briefly as an intern at Gateways Hospital in Echo Park, where this is being recorded right now, where he developed his methods further, calling them milieu therapy, which was essentially the same thing. His patients were mostly teenage drug abusers. And while his treatment was an utterly intense, disorganized failure, Landy did realize that he was learning a lot of teenage slang. So he did what many doctors would do when they're around teenagers: author a book on, quote, hippie jargon called the Underground Dictionary. Around 1972, Landy founded his own clinic in Beverly Hills, calling it the Foundation for the Rechanneling of Emotions and Education, in an acronym also known as FREE. Of course, it promoted 24-hour therapy. The premise of his therapeutic process was simple, deceptively so, and literally just included overseeing each patient every moment of every day for as long as needed. It was also around this time that Landy was proactively tapping into Hollywood social circles, making himself available for TV consultations and high-profile clients. He began consulting on The Bob Newhart Show and charging $200 an hour, around $1,500 an hour in today's terms, for one-on-one therapy. In a 1976 interview with Rolling Stone, Landy boasted that he had many celebrity clients, but didn't go into much detail, adding, quote, I've treated a tremendous number of people in show business. For some reason, I seem to be able to relate to them. I think I have a nice reputation that says I'm unorthodox by orthodox standards, but basically unique by unorthodox standards. It was true, Landy attracted some heavy-hitting patients with his strange therapeutic ways, including Alice Cooper, Rod Steiger, and dramatic actor Gig Young, who, tragically along with his wife, died in an apparent murder-suicide in 1978, not long after he saw Landy. Psychiatrist and colleague Saul Samuels described Landy as, quote, a maverick in the field of psychology. Arnold Horowitz, assistant to Landy in the 1970s, stated that Landy used methods that were based, quote, upon very, very heavily reality confrontation on a very consistent basis. Gene, in addition to being eloquent at times, is dramatic. It sounds dramatic, and in my research, also pretty simple. Be around someone for as long as he could. As you might imagine, this behavior not only seems intense, but cult-like. In October 1975, Landy was hired to treat Beach Boys frontman Brian Wilson by his concerned wife Marilyn. Unhealthy, depressed, and grappling with addiction, Marilyn had tried to find doctors Brian could work with, but, quote, Brian's ability to put on these professionals made it difficult to find someone who could deal with him on his own level. He'd gone through many an inflexible therapist before he met Landy, and at his first session with Wilson, Landy met the musician right where he was at, in his bedroom closet, the only place Wilson truly felt safe. Immediately, Landy thought the musician was a, quote, undiagnosed and untreated schizophrenic. Wilson's wife Marilyn said that, during one of Landy's initial visits to their home, quote, Brian just walked in the room and said to Landy, something's wrong with me. I need your help. And that started it all. Under Landy's care, Wilson was forced to maintain a strict schedule, exercise routine, and limit his exposure to, quote, negative influences, which included meetings with friends. In public at the time, Wilson shit-talked Landy, saying the only reason he was working with the doctor was so that he wouldn't be put back into a psychiatric facility. But Landy called his bluff, tightening his grip on the musician in order to achieve his desired results. In Landy's own words, he says, quote, I had to be crazier than Brian. There's only room enough for one crazy person in Brian's head, and that's got to be me. I have to be the ultimate power in his situation. I said he had to get out of bed and start living a normal life, and he said, make me. How do you make a guy get out of bed after so long? Explain it to him first? No, you throw water on him first. And that's just what I did. I warned him and then threw water on him and he got up. But it was more than getting Wilson out of bed. Beach Boys road manager Rick Nelson later claimed that Landy had attempted to use his care of Wilson to exert artistic control over the Beach Boys. During the 1976 recording of the band's album 15 Big Ones, group meetings were completely supervised by Landy, and discussions over each song for the record were facilitated by the doctor and reported to have lasted up to 8 hours. Another report suggested that Landy had asked for a percentage of the band's income. Landy then insisted Wilson appear for a solo performance on Saturday Night Live to cure Wilson's stage and social anxiety. Bizarrely, Landy stood off camera holding signs for Wilson that read, quote, "Smile." Critics panned the performance, but Landy would later say that the audience missed the point of the whole exercise, explaining that Wilson's performance, quote, "was a terrible thing as a one-shot, but that he'd do better if he kept on performing more and more in his life." When Landy raised his monthly fee of $10,000 to $18,000, with extra additional creative compensation, of course, Marilyn and Steve Love, Wilson's cousin and band manager, finally had had enough of Landy's antics. In December 1976, Love fired Landy. Of course, Landy took a lot of credit for his work with Wilson, even after his firing, citing that he was a positive creative force and that he had, in fact, not gotten fired at all. About 15 Big Ones, Landy told the press, quote, "Brian and I did that together. Right after that, I had to leave the situation. I was interested in making Brian a whole human being. They, the Beach Boys management, were interested in getting another album done in time for 1977. In 1977, Wilson was asked if Landy had too much control, to which he replied, quote, "I thought so, but there was nothing I could do about it, and I eventually gave into it. He had control of my life legally through the commitment of my wife. He definitely helped me. It cost over $100,000. He charged a hell of a lot per month." Landy was eventually replaced with another doctor, but in 1982, he'd be back, and worse than ever.
This episode of Ghost Town is brought to you by BetterHelp. What are some of your relationship green flags? We often hear about avoiding the red flags, but what if we focus more on looking for green flags in friends and partners? If you're like me, you're not always sure what they look like. Therapy can help you identify green flags and actively practice them in your relationships. And you can embody that green flag energy yourself. No matter what the relationship, dating, married, building a friendship, or just working on yourself, it's time to form relationships that love you back. For me, therapy has been very helpful. From learning positive coping skills, setting boundaries, to helping me be the best version of myself. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy both affordable and convenient, serving over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists with a wide range of specialties. You can also easily switch therapists anytime at no extra cost. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/ghosttown to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/ghosttown.
Hi, who here loves when their nails are perfectly done? Me. I'm Sarah Gibson Tuttle, and I started Olive & June because, let's be real, we all deserve to have gorgeous nails, but who wants to spend a fortune or half their day at the salon? And that's why I created the Mani System, so you can have that salon-perfect manicure right at home. And guess what? The best part? Each mani only costs $2. Yup, you heard me, $2. No more $30, $40, $50 salon trips that eat up your day. Now you can paint your nails whenever you want, wherever you want, and trust me, you're going to be obsessed with your nails and everyone is going to ask you, where did you get your nails done? And here's a little something extra. Head over to oliveandjune.com and get 20% off your first Mani System with code PERFECTMANI20 at oliveandjune.com/PERFECTMANI20. That's code PERFECTMANI20 for 20% off at oliveandjune.com/PERFECTMANI20. You're all set for a nail glow up. Let's get those nails looking fabulous, shall we? Raise your hand if you want your nails to look perfect all the time. Me too. I'm Sarah Gibson Tuttle from Olive & June, and this is exactly why we created the Mani System. We wanted to make it possible for everyone everywhere to give themselves a beautiful manicure at home. With our tools and our long-lasting polish, each manicure with our Mani System comes out to just $2. That's right, $2. No more $30, $40, $50 manis that you get at a salon and they take hours. Now you can paint your nails on your time and love them more than ever. And by the way, when people ask, who did your nails? Where did you get them done? You're going to proudly say, I did them myself. Get 20% off your first Mani system with code PERFECTMani20 at oliveandjune.com/perfectmani20. That's code PERFECTMani20 for 20% off at oliveandjune.com/perfectmani20.
Valentine's Day is coming up, and for me, there's only one place I trust, 1-800-Flowers.com. This year, 1-800-Flowers wants to make sure you're a Valentine's hero with an exclusive offer. Double the roses for free. When you buy 1 dozen, they'll double your bouquet to 2 dozen roses. It's the perfect way to say I love you without breaking the bank. Trust me, 1-800-Flowers always delivers. To claim your Double the Roses offer, go to 1-800-Flowers.com/ACAST. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/ACAST.
Hi, hello, how are you?
Hello. Hello.
How you doing out there?
How's it going out there?
Well, in here, it's going great.
Yeah.
I just felt like saying that instead of something else. It's going great. We're doing great.
We're doing great. It's mid-February.
Los Angeles is the coldest place on earth, which when I tell people that, it drives people absolutely insane. But I am a bit of a diva, so any bit of discomfort, I love to share with the world.
That's beautiful.
Speaking of divas, our government, our mayors, high on pedestals they are put. Before they were mayors, they had a bit of influence in what they did. They were being controlled.
Oh, shit.
And I like to think that this job in government set them free.
That's right. We deprogrammed them.
This first mayor, every time he went to the movie theater, and then, you know, those soda machines or those drink machines that are, you know, you press, like, there's a million different combinations that you can have, right? He was like, I don't know, do I want a soda? Do I want a lemonade? Do I want a sparkling water? I don't know what I want. It's driving me crazy. I'm missing the movie. Somebody influenced this mayor into picking the right drink every single time. Couldn't think for himself as far as the drinks.
He just pressed buttons.
He just pressed buttons, missed the movie, and it was just a huge mess. But he found his way. Chris Hernandez.
Hello.
This mayor was like, yeah, I'm at the gas station. I always get regular gas, but maybe I should get plus.
Whoa.
Maybe I should get super. I don't know what's best for my car.
Geez, 1% alert.
Clue. Which one should I be using? Is it bad for my car to use the regular, or is it better to always use the regular? Is plus even is it worth the money? Well, they were influenced. And they were just like, just use the regular. You're fine. The regular's fine. Just, you've been at this pump for a long time.
Yeah, this is a line forming behind you.
It's Marissa Rothermel.
Hello.
Now, this mayor, I don't know if this is going to register with them, and this might just be personal to me, but this mayor, despite the relatively simple menu, cannot figure out what to get at In-N-Out. And there's a lot of different things you can get, a lot of secret menu stuff, and you're just like, I just get up there and I just want to say, I want a hamburger. Can I just have a hamburger? I just want a hamburger.
You want hamburgy.
I want hamburgy. I don't know these fancy things, secret menu with this, minus that, plus this, a 3 by that. This. I just want a burger. Can I have a burgie?
I want it just food style. Can you make it like food?
Burgie. Baby want burger. Baby want burger style. I have a feeling this person might know my plight. And also their plight, because they didn't know what the heck to order until they were influenced as Cat Giselle.
Hello.
This mayor knew what they wanted at this drive-thru, but just needed a second opinion because there's like, I cannot believe I'm back at Burger King. What? How did I get to Burger King? What happened with all these options? And I'm at Burger King? on a Monday? It's not even noon yet. What the heck?
Whoa. Monday morning BK?
Just what? How did all these roads lead to this? You just need somebody else to say, yeah, fine.
Oof.
Get a Whopper Junior.
Is that on the menu?
I think so. They needed some help to
Have it
confirm
your
that.
way.
It's Ashley Matson.
Hello.
This mayor is like, help me sort out my Amazon. I got all these things in my Amazon cart. Should I take some of this stuff out? I feel like this is just like wishful thinking, but I can't make the commitment to remove it from my cart. Or should I just buy it all and then just end up returning it at like Whole Foods or Staples or something like that? Am I just projecting? Maybe.
Maybe.
Well, this mayor needed some serious guidance. Get some of the things out of the cart. It's Kelly Meehan.
Hello.
This mayor was like, I have to buy a gift. It's going to be a gift card. Help me pick out something that's not just Amazon or Visa. Let me at least be a little bit creative. Let me act like I give a little bit of thought to buying someone a gift instead of just being like, here's an Amazon card. Here's a Visa gift card. Here's a Visa Vanilla gift card. They needed help. They needed help in a big way. And you know what? It ended up being the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh.
Or Dunkin' Donuts.
Dark.
Which I would love to get either of them.
Yeah.
Just putting that out in the universe. Rebecca and
wow.
I would listen. If you have extra
preferably a
cheesecake-
large monetary increment. Like, I would love $500 to Dunkin' Donuts.
I'll tell you something. We've personally ran up a pretty big bill at Cheesecake Factory, I believe.
Yeah. But I would do if I could do it again. I would do some things differently, I will say. But that's for next time.
You need someone to guide you.
I do.
in your order.
I need influence for sure. But we'll have an opportunity. And so will this person, I'd imagine. This gift card maven.
This is the one and only Casey Weber.
Hello.
This mayor is like, I don't feel like making dinner. Opens up the DoorDash app and is like, what the heck's even going on here? They're throwing so much stuff at me. They're pulling me in so many different directions. I could go to see what I ordered last, but I want to try to find something new. But it's like, wait, then I can add something completely different, like from another place completely? Like I could add donuts to whatever this is? That's wild. Someone, please, help me rein it in. I got stuff to do.
I just spent $300 on boba.
Yeah,
a chicken meal.
Yeah, what's going on?
Huh.
Help. It's Matthew Clemens Leray. This mayor is like, oh boy, I'm back on LinkedIn. I need to update this headshot. Do I pick something that's like professional or a little more casual? Or what kind of vibe am I supposed to be putting out there? I don't want to try too hard. I don't want to try too little. Somebody help me. Somebody talk me into something in the world, the hellish, bottomless pit that is LinkedIn. A necessary evil in the biz world.
In the moving and shaking and article writing and like,
Yeah.
what top 5
Endorsement.
tips for this?
Well, I'll tell you someone needs help. Marissa Rothermel.
Hello.
And then our governor, who, believe it or not, has had some issues. How much fuel do I put in my private jet? Do I fill it to the brim and go round the world? Or is it just a little jaunt? It's a little freaking jaunt to Zurich. I don't know. Like, fill her up? Or just be like, just
Let it ride.
$10.
Let it
Yeah,
ride.
just put in $10 worth. I don't
Yeah.
know what it is. But have you ever been like fueling up your private jet and you're just like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, you're like, this will take me to Zurich. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So what?
I mean, I was just in Zurich 3 days ago.
Yeah.
And the thing is it's like I left one of my favorite phone cases there. I'm just gonna go back to Zurich
Yeah.
and get it.
Listen, when the fuel tank says 0, it doesn't like really mean 0. You know,
Come on.
like, you know,
You've been on your private jet and you're just like, I don't know. We've all been there. We've all done that. Relatable for the first time. in government history.
It's hard to wrap my head around.
It's hard to wrap my head around it. Just our favorite salt of the earth governor, our true favorite, our true influence, Avian Noble. You want no ads, no chit chat, bonus episodes, 7 days free. You just want good stuff. You don't want to hear any ads. You just want to get to it. There's so many bonus. There's probably like 75 bonus episodes, or I don't know how many bonus episodes there are. There's a lot of bonus episodes. If you want to listen to the back catalog, you don't want to hear all these ads or any of this stuff we're doing right now, and you just want the content, head on over to patreon.com/ghosttownpod. You want to get back into it?
Oh, yes, we will, and it's going to be bad. In 1982, Wilson was in bad shape. He had just overdosed on a combination of alcohol, cocaine, and other psychoactive drugs, and was brought back into Landy's care as an act of desperation. So, Landy was officially rehired, along with a team of doctors to supervise the musician. The second round of therapy was more expensive than the first, and more predatory. Between the years of 1983 and 1986, Landy charged $430,000 annually, forcing Wilson's family members to devote some publishing rights to his fee. In addition, Landy received 25% of the copyright to all of Wilson's songs, regardless of whether he contributed to them or not, which band manager at the time, Tom Hewlett, explained was an incentive for Landy to push Wilson to perform. This arrangement was revoked in 1985, and Landy was paid a psychiatry and creative advisory rate of $300 a year. At this point, instead of Wilson feeling like Landy was controlling him, it now felt like Wilson was willingly, even happily, living his life in an arrangement that worked for both of them. Wilson said, quote, "People say that Dr. Landy runs my life, but the truth is I'm in charge." And Landy overtly agreed. Quote, "He's got a car phone in his car. If he wants to call somebody, he calls somebody. He can go anywhere on his own anytime he wants." And yet, Landy would also say of Wilson, quote, "I influence all of his thinking. I'm practically a member of the band. We're partners in life." Margaret Fox, a Rolling Stone journalist, set the record straight, spending a week with Wilson and Landy at this time to witness exactly what their dynamic was. Fox reported, quote, "With the exception of taking a brief drive by himself to the market to pick up groceries, Brian appeared to be incapable of making a move without Landy's okay. During one interview session, the Landy line seemed to ring every 30 minutes, yet Brian appears to be a willing participant in the program." Landy was also isolating his client from his bandmates, who were also his family, his reasoning being, quote, "You can't deal with people who only want to use you." At this time, Wilson said that, quote, "Dr. Landy doesn't like me to be in touch with my family too much. He thinks it's unhealthy." In 1986, Wilson met his future wife and manager, Melinda Ledbetter, at a Cadillac dealership, where she was a saleswoman. 6 months after the two met, Ledbetter reported Landy to the state attorney general and the California Board of Medical Quality Assurance. The former told the concerned woman that nothing could be done. The latter began investigating Landy. Still, Ledbetter and Wilson married. Despite Landy ordering Wilson to sever ties with his new girlfriend, eventually, Wilson and Ledbetter married. In 1988, Wilson released his first solo album called simply Brian Wilson. Surprising nobody, Landy was listed as an executive producer of the album and was credited as a co-writer of several tracks. At that point, the investigation by the state board on Landy's full medical practice was in full force, including accusations of grossly negligent content, including the sexual abuse of a female patient that he also had while treating Wilson. Most of the accusations, however, concerned his relationship, of course, with Wilson, alleging that his multiple business entanglements had caused the singer, quote, "severe emotional damage, psychological dependence, and financial exploitation." Landy denied all charges, and Wilson defended Landy, attributing his new solo career to his successful treatment. "Dr. Landy saved my life," he said. In 1989, however, Landy caved, realizing his glamorous 24-hour celebrity therapy enterprise was in fact crumbling. He admitted to a single charge of unlawfully prescribing drugs and surrendered his license to practice psychology in the state for at least 2 years. But, of course, Landy didn't relinquish control over Wilson, continuing to work with him on his music and contributing to a 1991 album called, quote, Sweet Insanity. Legally, of course, Landy couldn't work with Wilson in a psychiatric capacity, but the two were still wildly close. So much so that in 1991, Wilson's family sought to put Wilson under conservatorship in an effort to stop Landy from unduly influencing him in personal and financial matters. The action was dropped when Landy agreed to stop seeing or talking to Wilson for a full 90 days, but both felt the split was permanent. After Landy eventually moved to Hawaii, Wilson wrote a memoir suspiciously dedicated to his ex-doctor, writing, quote, "Without you, there'd be no music." Also unsurprisingly, Landy shared in the book's profits. Landy continued a psychotherapeutic practice with licensure in New Mexico and Hawaii until his death on March 22, 2006. Even after his passing, Wilson was devastated, speaking nothing but glowing words about his old doctor and collaborator. Wilson's daughter Carney quoted her father saying, quote, "Dr. Landy died today. I know a lot of people didn't like him, but I loved him." But despite Landy's death, Wilson remained busy, reuniting with his bandmates and embarking on the Pet Sounds 50th anniversary world tour. After being diagnosed with dementia in February 2024, Wilson entered into a conservatorship, putting a protection into place that will hopefully keep Wilson far from any other predatory individuals who might cross his path, and finally let him live in peace.
Hi, I'm Raj Punjabi from HuffPost.
And I'm Noah Michelson, also from HuffPost.
And we're the hosts of Am I Doing It Wrong?, a new podcast that explores the all-too-human anxieties we have about trying to get our lives right.
Each week on the podcast, Raj and I pick a new topic that we want to understand better and bring a guest expert on to talk us through how to get it right.
And we're talking like legit credible experts, doctors, PhDs, all-around superheroes.
From HuffPost and Acast Studios, check out Am I Doing It Wrong? Wherever you get your podcasts.
Everyone knows that it's not Valentine's without 1-800-Flowers.com. So whatever you do, don't forget the flowers. Right now, when you order early from 1-800-Flowers, you can get a gorgeous bouquet of assorted roses starting at $24.99. It's the perfect way to say I love you without breaking the bank. Don't put this off. Quantities are limited, so lock in your roses starting at $24.99 today at 1-800-Flowers.com/ACAST. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/ACAST.
Opinions will always differ, and so they should. Because everyone draws from different influences. Parents, peers, politics, education, media, culture. What you believe depends on who you believe. Financial Times readers know that their opinions are reliable because they're shaped by trusted journalism. Robust opinions. Confident decisions. Source: FT. To subscribe, go to ft.com/sourceft.